My name's Joe Sykes. I've been living in Chorlton for about a decade and I've been volunteering for Chorlton Good Neighbours for 6.5 years as a befriender and help at the occasional coffee morning on a Thursday when I can as well. So through the befriending programme, I feel like I've grown as an individual through various different ways. For example, my kind of cultural understanding, the fact that my friend comes from a different cultural background to myself, originally from Iran, which means that I've got a much broader understanding of that kind of history of him as an individual, and an understanding of the cultural background he comes from, including linguistically. He's kind of teaching me the odd Farsi phrase now and again. I feel like I have got a much better understanding of old age through the kind of process, some of the challenge but also opportunities that old age presents, which means that I feel much better prepared now as my own parents get older to kind of anticipate some of the changes that I may see in them.
Do you have any thoughts about what your older gentleman gets out of your visits?
I think that it's really important to him because, well, I know he considers me a true friend. He's kind of used those words himself. It's an important part of history. He says that it's he just gets a lot of joy from our conversations. He's learned a lot. I'm a teacher, and he loves to hear about the things that I have to tell him about. My world in education is one of the vocations that he kind of talks a lot about because it's his late wife's profession too. So he is a native Farsi speaker. It's an opportunity for him to speak in English for an hour each week, which is really good for his communication skills. He talks about how Farsi is the main language he speaks, with family. Therefore, he has concerns that if he doesn't use his English, it will deteriorate. So that's a really important thing for him. The contact that we have means that I'm always aware of any changes in him. I can report any kind of concerns that I might have to Helen at Chorlton Good Neighbours, whether that be health, safeguarding, whatever that may be. And then it also gives Nuri a connection to the wider community. He has, through our friendship, got involved in other groups that I myself am involved in. There's a local storytelling group which meets twice monthly on a Saturday morning, and Nuri goes along to that. That in itself is 90 minutes of English speaking conversation. He talks about how sometimes he loves to just sit back and listen to others talk, and then other times we'll tell the stories of his life back in Iran.
So if another person wanted to volunteer, what would you say to them in terms of encouraging them to join, and what difference does it make to you to be a volunteer?
I think that for me, before I started volunteering, my motivation was kind of one of the classic, I wanted to give something back. And I think that you do have that opportunity. But what I would say is also remember that you can get so much from it yourself, and you will develop as an individual, the soft skills that I've mentioned previously. But also it is just purely an enriching part of my life. I feel like I've gained a friend. I feel like I've gained someone who, values our friendship, and that gives meaning to my life. So I would say that one of the biggest things is giving your life that additional level of meaning and kind of that real rootedness in your community. There's nothing quite like it, really. It's great.